Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. This is going to be your daily cryptocurrency market update. And I have been absent for the past 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. Unfortunately, I have had a flu that shall not be named. And it's been pretty bad. So I decided to take the last 2 days off and just literally spend it in my pit. However, hopefully I am going to be back. I'm feeling a little bit better. And I just want to say I definitely have missed you guys. And I saw lots and lots of messages with people asking where I was and asking if everything was all right. And that was just with 2 days of no daily cryptocurrency market updates. So I really appreciate you. And we're going to be covering things in this one. You guys know that we have a journey set out for us for Bitcoin and broadly the altcoins. We know what's happening with Bitcoin dominance and the total market cap. And we want to see Bitcoin dominance come down and the total market cap go up. And this is when alt season will really take place. However, Bitcoin dominance is still persisting and Bitcoin is very much leading this. And we have shown you previously, certainly if you look at the last bull market, Bitcoin very much led the charge and altcoins played this game of catch up. Why does Bitcoin lead the charge? Well, for the same reason that we've seen GBTC go up, because essentially you have smart money, and where smart money goes is into Bitcoin, where it can hide, where there's the liquidity for it. So we have this sort of Elliott wave theory structure lined up. This ties in with our head and shoulders target. We also have the BTC1 CME gap here. And I do very much think Bitcoin is on this journey. And I think altcoins are looking very, very positive across the board. I think, and we'll drop down into some of these altcoins, into some of the smaller timeframes, that you do have this nice double bottom with this slightly higher right butt cheek. That looks like altcoins are going to get sent. You know, if you look at Bitcoin and you look at maybe just putting some altcoins up, let's do DOT. You can see that Bitcoin is very much leading the pack and has actually gone on to excel above its one wave. Most of your altcoins are still under the one wave, coming out of the two wave correction. Just about to get started on the third wave. And we know what the signal for the full send on altcoins is. It's for Bitcoin dominance to come down with the total 2 coming up. That's when your alt season occurs. What I want to do before we drop down and really get into the charts in a little bit more detail, look at some altcoins, is just talk about the sort of situation that we're in right now. Now, I've had a lot of arguments and debates, some of them straight up arguments, where I've been debating people on the fact that, to me, this is QE. So regardless of the Fed coming out and talking tough and hawkish, and we've said this from the get-go, and actually, to be quite honest with you, and always be humble in front of the markets, didn't believe that the Fed were going to get to 5%. However, they've done it. And the reason I didn't think they'd get there is because I understand the system very well. It will implode in the worst kind of manner, and all our lives will be affected if they restrict liquidity in a liquidity junky environment. You know, the system that we live in, the fiat system, is an IOU system that basically needs free flow of liquidity in order to pay itself and to function. When you start fiddling around with that, you cause real issues. And this is what we saw with Silicon Valley Bank. And this is why I think we've had, certainly the markets are calling for a pivot. The Fed hasn't pivoted. And actually, we don't really want the Fed to pivot. We want, just to put the Fed funds up here, we don't want to pivot, right? And the reason we don't want to pivot from the Fed is because look what happens on a pivot, right? This is the pivot. So that the Fed funds is in a beautiful Bitcoin orange. This is the pivot. The yields typically leads this. But if we look at markets, we want rates just to go sideways. Because look at what they do in this instant. Sideways for rate, up the market goes. Sideways for rates, up the market goes. This is the window of opportunity we've been talking about, guys. Forgive me for talking a little bit slow. I'm still pretty ill. But ultimately, we want markets to go sideways. Oh, sorry, the rates to go sideways whilst they're talking tough and fighting inflation. I reckon we're going to get lower CPI prints, by the way, this month coming. I've been watching oil and a number of other things. Market's likely going to do this, and then maybe the pivot occurs on, you know, they'll probably soothe the banking crisis, continue to provide liquidity to it, which is QE. Very simple in my opinion, guys. QT is them taking off the balance sheet and upping interest rates. QE is them adding to the balance sheet. Yes, they've not lowered interest rates, but we don't want them to lower interest rates. This is a pivot before the pivot, essentially, guys, or before the official pivot. It is a form of a pivot. So we want rates in Bitcoin orange to go like this. This is the 2-year yields line charts do this and keep going down, and we do very much think it will do. By the way, we called this before it even had rolled over on the bearish divergence. Divergence is a wonderful, guys. It helped us put money into the markets at the start of the year. If you want to find out what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, feel free to join the Patreon. Amazing group of people, guys, that I'm very, very proud of. And ultimately, you know, I don't think there's a better place to be where you'll get the value for money in the entire crypto space than in my Patreon. I genuinely believe that. You can try it out for a month or wait till the start of the month when everyone's been paid, and give that a go. It's well worth it, guys. I can assure you on that. And if you don't think it is, you can always cancel your subscription. But ultimately, you know, this is the plan. And right now we've got this kind of macro backdrop of they're still trying to fight inflation, but ultimately they've had to pivot because of banks, and they're going to continue to have to do that as we see the pressures mount and contagion likely spread. It's been largely quieted. This is what we think happens. Essentially, it gets quietened down. You know, the yield curve still to play out, and the yield curve is likely going to tie in with what we're talking about here. Rates going sideways, this continues to go down, markets going up, and then you'll get we could be setting up very much for a March 2020 style run up. And this actually ties in pretty nicely with what we think Bitcoin's doing. You know, we had, and I will show some altcoins. No, we don't want that. You know, this is what we've been looking at, right? Why did you run in? Fibs work because everyone uses them. You ran into the 0238. We did say all this. If you're going to find resistance, not only are you coming into resistance here and you've got this sort of block of liquidity if you put up your volume by price, you're going to struggle here and then you're going to propel through it. Just like we said, you're going to struggle at your head and shoulders target. This right shoulder, I had straight up everyone turning against me and saying I was wrong, only to become right. It's not an I told you so, just, you know, and I've been wrong on many, many things, guys, and I'm sure I'll continue to do so. But what I can promise you guys, I do my best, and I do what I say I do. You know, I am a real trader and investor, and that's how I make my living. You're kind of repeating this. You know, I think this is to come. I really do. And I think, you know, this could take you up to sort of your 40K range. Certainly a very prominent and well-known and certainly loved technical analyzer, Francis Hunt, that I follow, is looking at potentially, and you could go and watch all his videos, a 40K-ish target for Bitcoin. 35 is where we're looking at for now, but definitely there's room for more upside and this fifth wave taking place. You know, this is the kind of structure I think is taking you to the upside. This is what I'm looking at. You know, you're definitely going to run into some chop here, but I don't think it's going to be long before you smash into this 35K. Altcoins are still, you know, you can see this kind of repeating. And this is why I say you could end up this March 2020 style where you have the kind of yield curve inversion and the crash down the line. And, you know, maybe it does something like this, goes like that, and then boom, you come back down to here. So, something like this. This is just scenario forecasting, but let's just focus on the shorter road ahead, which is upside. You got lots of people. One of the most dangerous positions you can have is no position because you're losing money, right? Or you're not making money. And if you're not making money, then someone like me is outperforming you. You've still got people calling for new lows. Deal with that when it comes, right? Even on this little dip, I've seen people talking about new lows. Get your emotions, put them in a box, put a padlock on it, and put it in your sock drawer, okay? Because they ain't going to get you anywhere. I say that in the nicest way possible. You know, you leave your emotions, and I still get emotional towards the markets. I have good ways of dealing with them. Exercise is one. Certainly when I'm trading, it helps out massively. Your emotions are not going to help you in the slightest in this market, and you need to have a plan. You need to, if you can be in a group like mine, be in a group, and ultimately, you know, try and be the beneficiary of this. So the macro, I think, is very pivoting. I think this is QE. I think markets know this is QE. However, you know, the Fed aren't officially saying that, and they're really determined not to use the word bailout, except for it is exactly that, a bailout. There's no way about beating around that bush. A regulatory standpoint, we had stuff from this Binance. I feel like you remember that "Leave Britney Alone" meme. Or before it was even a meme, that YouTube video. I feel like I should do a "Leave CZ Alone" video, "Leave Binance Alone" video. These guys are coming after Binance hard, and we did say that would be the fact after FTX. They got a target on their back. Gary Gensler, investors in the crypto market are putting their assets at risk in highly speculative asset classes. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house, mate. Look at your banking system that you're working for and trying to ultimately bend the landscape towards. You know, this is interesting as well. Breaking Nasdaq to offer Bitcoin and crypto trading the block. Oh, I thought crypto was bad and getting banned and nobody wanted to use it. Well, it's not what the Nasdaq is saying. It's not what BlackRock is saying. It's not what JP Morgan is secretly saying, although not publicly. Guys, the opportunity of a lifetime is in front of you. Stick with it, and I think you'll do well. We'll look at altcoins in just a second. Again, 2/3 of QT done in the last year has been reserved in the reverse, in the last 2 weeks. So the Fed is not doing QE. QE is bond buying, yet they are handing out loans, not buying bonds. That said, an expansion of the Fed's balance sheet is stimulative, whether it's from QE or loans. This is QE, in my opinion. The technical analysis, macro analysis is like three blind men feeling up an elephant, right? They all think it's a different thing. The guy at the trunk thinks it's a snake, one thinks it's a tree trunk, and the other guy at the tail thinks it's a lion or something, you know, or a zebra. Come up with what you think it is for yourself and ultimately go off that. Crypto Twitter and YouTube is pathetic. It's so bad, the caliber of individuals on there, and some of them are amazing content creators, but in terms of their kind of macro, and I'm not a macro guy, I listen to far smarter macro people than myself. But even the trading side of things, I've been in every single group you can imagine, guys, on my journey to become a trader. I've only really found one, maybe two that have been value for money. The rest are complete nonsense. Apple launches its pay later service. It is a bit of a doom and gloom time. We're getting hit from inflation. Biden wants to generate $4.7 trillion from tax. I mean, hang on, wait, what? I don't think, anyway. And now Apple are launching their pay later service. So everyone's going to be well and truly indebted just for when they want to take this, put this sick horse down. Forgive me for being a bit sinister, guys. But yeah, no, this is the course that I think we're on. I think altcoins, I just need to check I've not got any draws I shouldn't have on here, are looking for this third wave. You know, we speculate that even if your third wave's the first wave, you know, Dart 9. We've got our good friend Cardano. You know, if you want to be safe, wait until you run this high. You know, but we're already loaded up. We took full advantage, guys. We have honestly killed this market, accumulating here, here. It's no joke, and we're going to continue to kill the game, I believe. If you look at something like Algorand, similar thing, and what I'm talking about with this double bottom is this. This is a signal I trade all the time. When you've got your one butt cheek, your left, and your right butt cheek that's higher. DNA here. Watch all this get sent. It will get sent. Again with Dart. Do we have it on? Got a really heightened version of that on Chainlink. ADA's been put in a concession and it looks pretty good. We've got to quickly look at BNB. Doing quite well. You know, look at these all coming to their range highs. Ready to break free. Lackluster news, really, this week. Watch the yields. And ultimately, I think that's all I've got for you guys. It was just a short and sweet update. I'll be back to the daily cryptocurrency market videos. Isn't it funny how they're all going after Binance, yet they're allowing their golden child, the Nasdaq, to prosper and set up to take out and take the business that they take and steal and cheat from Binance. Binance has literally been accused of being a criminal cartel, and it's like, well, I don't think so. I think they have like 600 people in their compliance department. I like Binance. I like CZ. I'm going to continue to back the guy and ultimately not champion him, but support him and his endeavors. And I think largely he's beneficial to the entire crypto space. On that note, guys, I'm going to love and leave you. We just dropped an early release interview with a very smart individual on my Patreon, so maybe a little bonus for you guys joining there. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. If you enjoyed the content, like us, appreciate those comments. Stick to the plan until it's gone wrong, basically. You know, plans are plans until they're invalidated, until there's reason to abandon them. And this is part of being a technical analyst. You need to be nimble to the markets. You need to be humble before them. Ultimately, we're looking for that upside. There are points where we get invalidated. I certainly wouldn't like to see this right shoulder run. That'd be a big no-no for me. And I wouldn't even like to see the neckline played back into. However, I think this market gets sent. You could even consolidate until maybe we have a CPI. You ran into a key level. CPI comes out lower. Look at the likes of gold. Sorry, not gold. Gold's been killing it as well. What is this telling you? Gold about to put in a new all-time high. What's that telling you? But if you look at the likes of oil, smashed. Although it's kind of, you know, this is quite a good trait with what's been going on. I mean, look at nat gas. Anyway, I'm going to stop rabbiting and leave you to your wonderful Wednesdays. Enjoyed being back, guys. Again, thank you for all the messages. It really does mean the world to me. You guys do mean the world to me. And on that note, I'll love and leave you. See you in the next one, ladies and gents. Thanks all for watching.